This is a 5-in-1 short inspirational stories aimed at giving moral values to its readers. 1. Taming your tongue. Ria watched her parents pray so fervently for a divine helper. Their rent had just expired, their daughter was sent home from school last month because of unpaid fees. To feed was a big issue for them because their father's carpentry work wasn't yielding much. The landlord was threatening to throw them out if the rent is not paid soon. Ria was also hoping for some sort of miracle. Due to the problem in the house, she detests staying home and will always spend more time at their neighbor's house. Their neighbor's daughter, Kimmy, was around Ria's age. They were about 12 and 13. A year different from each. One day, it seems like their prayers were answered when a visitor came visiting them. Mr. Ozak used to live in the same compound with them before he won a visa and relocated to America. It's been 5 years before he finally visited his old neighborhood. Ria's father used to be his good neighbor and friend. They were both struggling to make ends meet and take care of their family before luck smiled on him and his life took a great turn. He was hoping that Ria's family still live in the same compound because he no longer has the contact. It was a great delight when he found out that they were still there. Ria's father was very happy to see Mr. Ozak, his good neighbor. After exchanging pleasantries, Mr. Ozak need not to ask how they were faring, because the whole mood and environment says it all, but for formality's sake he asked. And Ria's father narrated how difficult it has been for him and his family. After listening to their sad tale, Mr. Ozak promised to come back the following weekend to see them. He mentioned he had a big project that he was working on and will not be free until the next weekend. Before he left, he gave them some cash to use for upkeep until he returns back. Ria's parents were grateful. They thanked him so well before he left. Ria was very happy and couldn't keep calm. She went on telling anyone who cares to listen that her father's friend from USA came to their house and promised to take her to the USA. She will soon be saying the final goodbye to all her friends because they will no longer see her. Her parents happens to hear about the rumor that Ria's been spreading, so they called her. She couldn't defend herself. They warned her to stop telling lies and spreading negative rumor because it has a way of backfiring. Ria did not take the given correction. Back in school, she didn't stop fantasizing over how her trip to the USA would be like. She continued spreading the lies and everyone who cares to listen believed her. Ria's father gave Ria part of the money collected from his friend to pay part of her school fees. The following weekend, Mr. Ozak kept his promise and returned. He was able to clear his friend's rent. He also put him in charge of supervising his new project, of which he will be rewarded handsomely. Mr. Ozak, having entrusted his friend with his project, traveled back to the USA. Ria's father was diligent with his new job. He doesn't want to betray his friend. At the end of the project he was indeed rewarded handsomely. He used the money to boost his carpentry work and opened a food store for his wife. After several months, Ria's lies began to backfire. Her schoolmates and friends makes jokes with her name. They kept asking her what she was still doing with them. Wasn't she supposed to be a USA citizen just like she told them? And the mockery keeps on. Every day, they continue taunting her until she couldn't take it anymore. She started avoiding school. She would lie that she was not feeling well just to stay home. When her parents find out the truth, they reminded her of their warning and how it had come to play. They refused her staying home. Ria regretted everything. She never thought it would turn out the way it did. Her parents advised her to continue going to school, and with time the whole thing would die off. The schoolmates would eventually forget about it with new happenings. And hers would become history. She shouldn't allow their words affect her. Moreover, it is wrong to cover a lie with another. She should rather concentrate on her studies. These and more were their advices to Ria. Ria agreed. Although it still affected her, but as time goes on everything eventually went cold. When her friend, Kimmy, told her not to ever pull such a huge joke again, Ria agreed. And told her that she had learned her lesson not to ever run her mouth ever again.